Perfection, back again with another video and another update. Okay, so the last video I done, I was getting quite emotional about things and this and that. And at one stage I thought, even after I done the video with the screen disappearing and reappearing and some of the things that I was saying, I was like, you know what? You sound a bit kind of, what's the word? You're coming across, what word would I use to describe it? Uncertain. You're coming across as, what's the word? Not rigid, but to a certain degree soft. Or you're coming across, I wouldn't use the word soft because that's an insult. I would use the word as in, almost like maybe you're not cut out for this kind of thing. That's how I was kind of coming across. But then watching a lot of videos on YouTube after that, I can tell you most things that I said was a genuine concern, which I will go into this video. First thing I want to do though is I want to say thank you to the people that have donated. Big shout out to goodvibesfashion.co.uk. They did donate to charity. Big shout out to them. Big shout out to Mark Noonan. He provided me with a gun, a massage gun that basically helps speed up the recovery of the injury that I had to my my right calf muscle, because that prevented me from running around the park. Yeah, and obviously big shout out to the previous people that bought tickets. I still have a few more tickets to sell. Right, so getting back into it, yeah. So when I done the last video, I was like, oh my gosh, like, part of me was like, Luke, are you kind of carrying on a bit like, a bit kind of not weak, but a bit kind of like you're not cut out for this fight game, or you're not the real deal, and that kind of stuff. But no, the concerns that I had were general concerns, and I'll quickly go through it so you can understand what I was talking about. So, like I said already, week 1 we arrived there. We're doing basic sparring. We're not really hurting each other or punching each other in the face. Week 2 again, we're doing a lot of training. We're practicing little kind of drills, things like that. Week 3 goes by, same thing. Week 4 goes by. There might be little punches to the stomach, like you can punch each other to the stomach. That was week 3, and then week 4 I get put with a guy that's basically 6'4", and again, like the drills like last week, you can only punch the stomach and this and that. And then on the week 4 with the 6'4" guy, it was like, right, now I want you to kind of actually try to not hurt each other, but punch each other in the face or the body with a little bit of intention, 30% power. And we were kind of building up on that, and even then I was getting drained. And this is the whole point of this video. Why was I getting drained? I was getting drained because for the last 3 years I've been doing nothing but weightlifting. So what happens is the muscles burn up a hell of a lot of oxygen. You're running like 5 times more oxygen than your average person. So even after 2 rounds of it, 3 rounds of it, I was holding my stomach. I was gone. I was literally gassed out. So that was week 4 with the 6'4" guy. And even then I was going home after week 4 and I was thinking, damn man, that guy didn't seem to get tired. The 6'4" guy never got tired. I'm thinking, I generally am quite a fit guy. I came into this quite fit. Yeah, I didn't do 10 miles of cardio or this or that, but I am generally quite a fit guy. But this is like bad, man. Like this has made you look like you've never done any kind of exercising before. That's how bad it came across. And I was a little bit concerned on week 4. Week 5 we went back there, and basically it's me and the big guy again. I remember saying to him, oh, it's you again, and he had this kind of look on his face. He's like, yeah, it's me again. And then we get thrown in with some other guy there, and he does look a bit intimidating. But when we start actually sparring, so there's 3 of us, me, the 6'4" guy, and this other guy. When we actually start sparring, this other guy is a bit kind of sluggish. He's a bit slow, and he doesn't know how to. But me and the big guy, we were generally kind of, what's the word? we had a purpose. We weren't just kind of trying to hurt each other, even though the big guy was getting a few shots on me in my face and all that kind of stuff. And I was congratulating when he was doing it. I was like, you know, good shot, bro. Good shot. You got me there, man. Yeah, that's good. Oh, well, you got me there. Even threw a right hook, like I said in the previous video, and I was stunned. I was like, wow, you got me there. You know what I mean? So, but we were going in with the intention of kind of just trying out things. Let me see if this works. So from week 4 to week 5, when this other guy is introduced, it's like, it's even better. It's like we can try out things, maybe things that he couldn't get away with me, and maybe things I couldn't get away with him. Let's try it on this other guy. And we were both trying out things, and it was working. The things that we were trying out was working. And that was week 5, right? And I did feel a little bit sorry for that guy. Now, I could have if I wanted to, not the 6'4" guy, but the other guy that was introduced. I could have kind of done some real heavy blows on the guy. I could have went for gold on him. I could have really hurt him if I wanted to. But the way I looked at it, was we're sparring and we're learning. So I'm trying to say. The big guy did throw a couple of punches to him, went a little bit more aggressive than me. But again, if he wanted to hurt the guy, he could have hurt him. Week 6 now, we went back there, and people are picking each other's sparring partners, and me and this black guy is left over, and I'm like, you know, come, let's spar, man. And then I didn't have my gum shield on, and I remember him saying, no, you want to go and get your gum shield. And I was like, oh, okay, you're right, man, you're right. So I went and got the gum shield, put the gum shield in my mouth. Again, we start off with basic drills, and then the instructor after about, and even with the basic drills, so the basic drills started from about 10 minutes on in the class, right? And then 10 minutes later, even from the basic drills and me moving around and moving my head and practicing things, I was pretty gone, okay? And again, down to the muscle that I'm carrying, I was gone by then. So 10 minutes of us sparring and me doing basic drills, we're not really hurting each other, I'm gone, right? Then all of a sudden the trainer says, right, now we're going to get into sparring. And I'm like, whoa, like, what do you mean? And he was like, now you're going to get into sparring. So now I'm gone by, say, 3 rounds of us practicing, even though we're still hitting each other in the face, by the way. And this guy's still trying to, like, I'm getting some heavy blows to my face by this guy. But then now the trainer says, right, now you're going to do some actual sparring. So from, say, 3 rounds of me kind of playing around, right, with this guy and me feeling tired, now all of a sudden we started going full on sparring, and that went round 4, round 5, round 6. By round 6, I was gone, and this is the whole purpose of this video. There's nothing I can really do to avoid that because of the weightlifting that I've done. If you're a big guy watching this video now, because of the weightlifting that I've done, there's nothing I could do to avoid being gassed out. Because if it was a street fight, we're not going to be fighting for half an hour. The advantage that I have is power. I have a lot of power. I have a lot of strength. So in a street fight, which normally lasts probably about 1 minute, 2 minutes, I'm going to aggressively, you know, I'm going to have the advantage within that 1 minute, 2 minutes. The fight's not going to go longer than that. So as a big guy, if it's being prolonged for me, it's going to round 6 now, it's going to round 7 now, it's going to round 8. I'm gone by then. And what's happening is, it got to a stage where I was so gassed out, and the first thing that went through my mind, because every week, another thing I want to say to people that are joining up to this thing, every time you go there, right, make sure you have a game plan. Today, this week here, week 1, you're learning. Week 2, you're learning. Week 3, you're learning. By week 4, you want to say, right, I want to practice this. Today I'm going and I want to practice me covering my head. Week 5, okay, today I want to practice me moving around, how I move this or that. So with that, on week 6 when I had this kid, right, my goal was, listen, protect your head. Because I was watching some videos on YouTube where guys were kind of getting punched in the face and like, go on then. And they kept their chin out like that, and they're like, punch me like that, come on then, and all of that. And I said, no, that's not, it's not about that, not for me anyway. That's not, to me, that's not even boxing, really, if you want me to be honest with you. I'm there to learn how to box, right? So, with this guy, by about round 8, yeah, because now it's just, remember, it's just me and this other kid, right? I'm super gassed out. There's nothing left. There was nothing left by round 4. As a big heavyweight guy that pumps weights, There was nothing left by round 4. Now we're round 8. All I'm doing is I'm just doing this. I'm saying, listen, you came with the intention of not letting some guy punch you in the head. So that's what I was doing. And there was just nothing left. And the trainers around, and big, big props to them. I think they're doing the best they can, but they weren't really too concerned. If anything, they kind of looked at me as a weak person. They were like, you should do better than that, man. You got to know how to defend yourself when you're gassed out and this and that. But the reality of it is, in a real life situation, I wouldn't be fighting for 8 rounds. 9th round came, 10th round came, so I gave up, because I think I might have forgotten to mention this in the previous videos. I gave up. I said, look, man, I'm tired. I can't. I believe me, for me to throw in the towel, I will go out of my shield. That's the kind of guy that I am. But you've got to understand, for the last 3 rounds, from 7 to 10, I wasn't defending myself. So when round, say, 8 came, round 9, I was like, you know what, I'm tired, man. And he was like, what? The guy was like, what, you giving up? I was like, bruv, there's nothing left, man. So he goes, go and get yourself some water. So we got ourselves some water for about 2 minutes. I jump back in. Round 9 come. I'm trying to chase him and this and that, but I'm still tired. And then I think I went another round of him, literally, and he had no mercy from this guy. Even though I was tired, still coming up to me. He was still practicing things. He was jumping to the side and practicing this and doing all that and still hitting me and this and that. By round 10, I turned to the trainer and I was like, you know what, I'm too tired, man. I can't do this. And one of them was like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? Tired. And I was like, I can't do this. She goes, don't talk to me. I think you better talk to him. I think you better talk to this guy. And the look of disappointment in her face, So, just to cut a long story short, okay? So I think I must have won another round with this guy. And again, the same thing, me just getting punched in the head. So the previous video isn't me kind of being weak or anything like that. It's a genuine concern, I think. And just to kind of clarify the whole thing, when I went back there, so yeah, sorry, let's fast forward it. So I left that day, right? My head was throbbing, this and that. My head was throbbing badly, right? I left that day and I was like, damn, like, what can I do? Because I'd injured my calf muscle a week before. What can I do? If I go back there the next week and I'm put with someone like that and I'm gassing out after, say, 2-3 rounds and it's just me and him, there's no longer a third guy now, I can't jump out. What do I do? What can I do? Do I quit now? Because if this is the actual fight and I'm gassed out by 2 rounds, what can I do? Do I quit? And I was scared. I was like, if I go back there next week and I'm gassed out after 3 rounds again and someone's going for gold on me, what do I do? Generally it was a general concern. Like, what do I do? Because I'm not there. Yeah, I'm not weak, but I'm not there to be someone's punching bag. So it was a general concern. What do I do? And then what went through my mind at the time, I was like, you know what? You're gonna go back there. You're gonna take a beating, this and that. I think my calf muscle was just about kind of easing off as well. So I tried to do a few laps around the park after I took that beating. And what went through my mind was, right, you're going to go back there now, right? And that same guy that kind of gave you a beating and no mercy and this and that, what you're going to do if you see him and you want to spar and he wants to spar with you, this time you're just going to go for gold. For 3 rounds, you're just going to look to take his head off. It's as simple as that. You're going to look to hurt him. The same way he had no mercy for you, have no mercy for him. It's one of those things now. That's what was going through my mind. And then after the 3rd round, when the trainer says, "Oh, go for a 4th round, 5th round," I say no. Because at the end of the day, we're not going to be sparring for 10 rounds, So, but to cut a long story short, when I went back there the next week, one of the trainers was just like, "Oh, you're going to get revenge now, yeah, for what that person done to you." So he was rubbing it in my face to a certain degree. And I turned around and I said to him, I said, you got to understand, it was a bit of a jump, though. If you think about it, it was a bit of a jump going from week 5, where it was me, some other guy and another guy in a triad group, to suddenly me doing one-on-one with another guy for 10, 11 rounds. You got to come on now, man. I said, come on. That was unexpected. I didn't even know that. I said, we're not going to be fighting for 10 rounds. So come on, man. That was a bit, and I I myself didn't even take into consideration that the fact that I've been pumping weights for 3 years. That never even came into my mind, you know. But the guy again, he was like, he goes, yeah, but on the night of the day, on the night of the boxing, you're going to be super drained, so you need to get your carb levels up. And I agree with him. Yeah, I agree with him. You need to be super fit on the night of training, otherwise you won't last 3 rounds. I agree with that. But I also agree with, if you're someone that's a bodybuilder and pumps weights, you're going to be gassed out a lot quicker. And I think if you're suddenly throwing someone in the ring from groups of 3 to suddenly groups of 2, and you're throwing him in the ring for what would be kind of like 2 rounds in a rest, 2 rounds in a rest. Now all of a sudden you're doing 11 rounds, 10 rounds, just fine for 20 minutes with them, no rest, and they've done weights. They're gonna be gassed out. It's naturally going to happen, you know, unfortunately. And that person was in a real fight scenario. They're not going to be fighting, not going to be using their power or strength for 10, 20 minutes. They're not. They're going to end it very, very quickly. So this is important for people that are big, because when we first started the course, there was a few muscular gym goers there, and all of a sudden, I never saw them. Well, not a few, one particular guy that also looked like he'd done weights, and he was gone. And I can remember someone there, I won't say who their name, but I remember them shouting out, one of the trainers there was like, muscles don't mean nothing here, you know. Muscles mean nothing. Muscles don't mean nothing here. And he shouted it out loud and clear, as if to say, look, you know, anyone here with muscles is trying to intimidate people, it's not going to work. So he kind of understood, you know. We're looking back at it now, from day one, he understood. But when the sparring kicked off, it would have been nice if he kept that same kind of compassion, or, you know. And this is what brings me to the next thing, little man syndrome. Okay, this is a very important thing that I want to talk about. Little man syndrome, guys, man. That comment that was made on day one, muscles don't mean nothing here, is a little man syndrome. It's a little man comment, because at the end of the day, from what I recall from day one, there was no one there that had gone to the gym that was parading around bullying people or intimidating people. So why did you come out of that comment? Muscles don't mean nothing here. Why would you come out of that comment? If someone was walking around bullying people and intimidating them, then fair enough. That comment makes perfect sense. Little man syndrome. Sometimes I go into rooms with people, and I'm sitting down there, maybe talking, having a conversation, or and what will happen is, generally by the way I look, or from the fact that I work out, someone gets intimidated by that, so they'll make a comment. Yeah, it must be because he pumps weights, or blah. And sometimes it doesn't make sense. It's what's the word? It's out of context. It's like me talking about my boss trying to, what's the word? Imagine that I was having a conversation with my boss about being late, right? And some guy walks into the room, he listens to it, and you know, me and this guy are talking. I'm saying, yeah, man, this boss, like, he's trying to tell me because I was 2 minutes late, he's gonna sack me and this and that. Imagine if some guy now is listening and he goes, what? So what are you gonna do? Because you think because you're a big guy now that you know you can think because you go to the gym that you can get away with being late and all of that. And you think, where does it come from? Where I don't understand where it all comes from. It's called little man syndrome. Okay. I remember being at the park with a friend of mine, and we were practicing. I'd done a bit of jiu-jitsu, and we were practice rolling. I was rolling to the side, rolling here, and I remember this black guy walking past us, and he was literally kind of walking. As he was walking, he was looking at our faces like that as we were walking by. Never seen the guy in my life, and he was walking by like that, looking in the face. Again, little man syndrome. I don't know you. He felt intimidated, or I don't know what it was, but he felt threatened in some sort of way. So some guy that we don't know had to suddenly then try to kind of almost make himself presence known by getting in the way of me and my friend to try to prove some sort of a point. Again, I'm down the basketball court, I'm skipping. Some white guy skipping about 400 yards away. He sees me skipping, so he starts skipping towards me aggressively, kind of thing, with some sort of point to prove. Again, little man syndrome. Too much testosterone, you know, trying to be the alpha male and this and that. Silliness, you know. In their cases, it was they're trying to be alphas, but little man syndrome works across the board, because sometimes you'll get the comment from someone that doesn't, because they don't have the balls to actually work out themselves, they don't have the balls to take care of themselves, because they don't have the confidence when they look in the mirror, they want to try to put down somebody else that's doing something good for themselves. You know, it's silly, it's weak. If I go around my friend's house and he's got a Porsche, there is going to be a certain part of me that's going to feel a little bit jealous. Am I then suddenly going to sit down in a conversation? Me and him are having a conversation about something, and I say, yeah. What? So you think because you got a Porsche now that all of a sudden now, is that because you got a Porsche? Yeah. And he says what? And I say, so so you're not going to lend me money because you'd rather spend it on your Porsche? What? And he says, what were you talking my Porsche? What were you? What? What's my Porsche got to do with me not lending you money? Do you understand? It's with me. I don't get jealous of my friends. If there's something that they have that I want, I will go out my way to make sure I either have what's generally, I either have what they have to cure whatever kind of, jealousy or zealous whatever thing that I have, or I just get over it, or just be happy for them, This is I just want to end this on this, right? This is what the whole purpose of the Profection site is about. It's about looking at yourself, seeing things, making sense of it, and then saying to yourself, these feelings or emotions don't make sense. What proof do I have behind it? What logic do I have behind it? This feeling of jealousy, what I has doesn't make sense. Is it making me look like, therefore, is it making me appear like a good person? Am I coming across as a wise person? Am I coming across as a person that others can look up to? If I'm jealous of a friend that's done, say he's done martial arts, right? He's come around my house. He didn't used to do martial arts, right? But now he has done it. Now he's coming around my house, and every 5 seconds I'm saying, what? Yeah, okay. What, you're going to beat me up then, Johnny, yeah? Is that what it is, yeah? Because I disagreed with your comment. What? And Johnny's still the same person he's always been. Johnny's going to say, Luke, what are you talking about, mate? What? And it's only a while until Johnny figures it out. Like, this is some, you're jealous. Like, bro, why? Like, it doesn't make any sense. This little man syndrome thing makes no sense. Like, whenever I come around here and threaten you or try to bully you, so why are you talking like that? Do you understand? It's silliness, guys. That's the point I'm making, Or imagine if Johnny got into a fight with someone. Johnny was training to be a fighter, this or that, and then all of a sudden he got jumped by 2 guys on the street, and Johnny got hurt. And I go to see Johnny at hospital, and rather than me say, Johnny, man, who done this to you, blah blah blah, I turn around and say, you know what, Johnny, your martial arts didn't help you this time, did it? Did it, Johnny? Little man syndrome, who does that? So again, this is if you don't have the balls in life to help yourself, right, that's fine, and it is what it is. But don't be jealous of other people when they're trying to make something of themselves. Do you understand? And don't be jealous of other people when they're honest. I'm coming on here and I'm honest about everything that I've said. Last thing I want to say is that shout out to White Collar Boxing London anyway. I think they're doing a good job. I do think the trainers need to kind of keep their eye on things. Sorry, that's the thing I forgot to say. Week 7 when I went back there, just to end this, week 7 when I went back there, and it was me and some white guy that was there, and the white guy may not have been in sports before, because sports like football and basketball and rugby, all those things, they do help. They do, they do help in other sports, yeah? They kind of transcend into other sports and things like that. You can, just like, like a job, your job here, your skills here kind of transcend into other areas in other jobs and things like that. This white guy obviously looked to me like he probably hadn't done any sports. Maybe a bit of football, but nothing, I never saw no real athleticism in him, right? So, again, after taking a beating in week 6, and I'm suddenly sparring with this guy, he's not doing too well, And again, I could have, having been beaten up the previous week, I could have suddenly went for gold on this guy and this and that. But I didn't. I was kind of gently punching him, no real power in the punches, this and that. And then, like I said, another guy gets added. When I go to put my helmet on, because I wasn't using my helmet in the beginning, so I took a little break from this guy and I went to put my helmet on. All of a sudden, while I was gone, this big guy joins in, right? And this big guy was basically trying to hurt me personally with full force, or not full force, but I was getting some heavy blows to my face, and he's trying to punch me heavily in my stomach. When this other guy was coming on, the white guy now, he wasn't going for so hard on him. But to cut a long story short, this big guy, when I was sparring with him, he was trying to punch me hard in the stomach and this and that, and he did get a few heavy blows, but I firmed it, and I kind of, managed to survive that round. And then what happened is he said, right, let me try this on this white guy. So he's gone for a hard, brutal punch, and he's winded the guy, and all of a sudden the trainer jumps in, the same trainer that didn't mind me getting my ass handed to me the previous week, suddenly jumps in now. Is like, watch out, you can't be fighting like that. That's dangerous, or slow down and this and that. So one thing I have learned from all of this, not only that I'm tough and durable, but people do expect more of me. I think genuinely I'm that type of guy where people do expect more of me, and this has nothing to do with just fighting. This has something to do with when I used to go into classes and be learning from the teachers, and the teachers would expect me to know more, or sometimes when they'd ask for an answer, class, what do you think this is? And I'm like, class, what do you think the answer is to this? And I'd stand up and I'd say, is it this, teacher? Blah blah blah. They're saying, the teacher would go, no, it ain't that, Luke. Yeah, no, you got it wrong. That's not what it is. And I'm like, where is this hostility coming from? So I think people do generally, I maybe come across as cocky or arrogant, or just in general, people kind of look at me and my image, my persona, the way I carry myself, people expect a lot more of me. Do you understand? But it means sometimes that I'm working a lot harder than your average person. And like I said already, guys, I do have learning difficulties, and I am a slow learner. So it makes it very hard for me, The last thing I want to say, so what week are we on now? So basically last week was what, week 6, 7, 8. Last week was week 8. Had a sparring partner. I wasn't going to go for gold on the guy. I saw no point in me trying to hurt the guy. Sparred with him properly. My mind frame now is any week you can walk in there and bump into some when I said killer before, take out the word killer and use the word kind of inexperienced sparring partner. Let's replace the word killer of inexperienced sparring partner. I could walk in there at any time with an inexperienced sparring partner, and they could be looking to try to take my head off and this and that, and I'm just mentally prepared, And some of them could be stronger than me, because I'm not a natural heavyweight. That's one thing this whole thing has taught me. Is that, listen, Luke, you aren't a natural heavyweight. That's why you're getting gassed as well. It's not only the fact that you pump weights and your muscles are draining a lot of your oxygen, but this isn't your natural weight. So over the past few weeks, I've generally kind of been eating one meal a day and trying to take my weight back down. And I'm trying to train as hard as I can, but if I overtrain, I stand another chance of injuring my calf muscle. So, I have to I'm trying, guys. I am really trying, But there's 3 weeks to go. There's 3 weeks to go. And what can I say? It's coming close. My mind frame now is anytime I can walk in there, just be prepared for someone in there trying to hurt you. So consume your energy, protect your head, breathe properly, and also protect your body as well, because there's one person that was trying to aggressively punch me in the stomach and this and that. So, but I'm ready, guys. I'm gonna give it my best. I have a feeling who my opponent is. At one stage I wanted to know, now I don't want to know. I have a feeling who it is. It's probably going to be the tall guy, the 6'4" guy that I sparred with in week 1. That's what's going through my mind right now. I don't think it's going to be anyone other than that. He's got a very long reach, so it makes it very hard for me to get close. But I'm going to give it my all. I'm humble anyway. Guys. So as long as I give my all, I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be proud of that. The organisation isn't bad, guys. It's not a bad organisation. I think they're doing a marvellous job. They do need to look out for all kinds of people there. Don't judge a book by its cover. Don't assume that because someone's a big guy, they can automatically take more punishment than other people and this and that. Don't be biased like that. And also take into account that weightlifters get gassed out a lot quicker. Please take it into consideration. Thank you for watching. There are more tickets available. Again, thank you for the donators. Thank you for the buyers of the tickets. Your boy Perfection loves you. I think I've covered every base. And that's pretty much it for now. Yeah, with the little man syndrome, guys, take a look inside yourself. If someone around you is doing something good physically, they're getting a new car, well, this and that, but they're not throwing it in your face. Well, boy, I got a new car. Look at you. Look at your clothes and all of that. Then why would I then come out? Why would I then come after them and this and that? Makes no sense. Just think about what I'm saying. You know, there's no kind of think about how it makes your character look. It's silly. It's silly. You know. If you're that insecure about yourself, do something about it. Peace, one love. Thanks for watching. Peace.